Time for the morning shuffle. Always an adventure. You know, if I put side windows back in this thing, I could just take it home and drive it and enjoy it. I love this car. Except for the manual steering. Kind of sucks when you gotta make a sharp turn. It's like driving a bus. But I like my cars mechanically original for the most part. They're a lot of fun to drive that way. I'm gonna put this thing around back. Hide it back here. All the other treasure. Gonna try to wrap up the floors on this thing, hopefully today. I gotta make some lower quarters, a couple other pieces. But this isn't super exciting for anyone. So probably a lot of time lapse and a lot of jump cuts on this one. It'll be a short video, but we'll get going on it nonetheless. Got to get done. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Got it flipped over so I could start working on the other side. And the floors that I did a week or so ago have dried down. I've been working on the trunk a lot, so hopefully I can get all that painted soon. I started whipping up this quarter panel patch off camera as well out of a couple pieces. So I'm gonna try to get this tacked together and split and make it nice. So see how I can do. I think it came out pretty decent, actually. Now I'm just gonna get the fit up there, get some of this stuff cut out of my way, mark it where it's gonna go so I don't cut too much out, and then we'll be back. I got that fitting up pretty nice. I just gotta cut this back and butt weld it and splice it a little bit and then cut and butt that. And then also make the inner piece, but I think I'll tack this on first and then go from the underneath and make the inner. I was able to reach down inside and pull the that overlap out. So now it's going to be fully butt welded. That came out pretty good. Got to finish welding it, but it's got a good transition. Flows nice. Got to hammer and dolly that in a little bit, I think, but other than that, it's good. Oddly enough, that took the better part of the day, so I guess we'll wrap some more of this up tomorrow. Now I got to go through and make these weird little patches. All the little stuff. There's another one down here. Funky patches. Get all those done. Also in here. That's the fun stuff. That's the stuff that really eats up time and looks like nothing. So sometimes I mention brute forcing my way through metalwork, and that's basically what I just did there on that tiny patch. Is I'll get one end started, I'll cut the piece of metal to the shape that I basically need, I'll get one side started, and then I'll tack that in place, and then I'll just hammer it as I go to form it and cut and butt the, I say cut and butt, that's from Fitzy's Fabrication on YouTube, so if you're interested in metalwork with no tools, go to Fitzy's channel and subscribe to him. But you cut as you go, you hammer it down, you tack it, and once you get all the way around those tacks, the piece that was underneath will fall out of place. You can usually reach in and grab it and take it out. I did that earlier on the quarter panel so that there's not metal stuck underneath metal. This is all butt welded, and it's a small piece. Again, I just brute forced my way through it, but now it's a butt welded little nice patch panel in a weird, awkward place, and it goes a lot quicker. I'm not the most talented metal fabricator. You know, a lot of guys would have cut a lot more of this out and made a nice, perfect piece that fit and TIG welded it in. I just do not have those capabilities. You know, I just try to get it done with what I have, and that's what that is. So I was doing some thinking on this one. It's a little weird. I'm gonna cut these braces out. That one's rotted, but I'm gonna cut them out separately and fix them up. And then I'm gonna cut this inner trunk drop down out because there's a brace underneath that welds to the inside of the quarter. This is all for the spare tire well. It's got these braces that sit up to keep the spare tire from sliding into the inside of the quarter. Well, I'll show you real quick. So that's what that is. That's where the spare tire sits, and it bolts down right there. But it's all connected to that inner drop down. So I want to just take all that stuff out kind of separately and then build this trunk floor and then build the drop down and then put the braces back over top of it. So let's get that started. Well, fudge. I got one cut out, but I realized very quickly that I'm out of cutoff wheels, so we're gonna have to go on a little field trip. Dang it. I got everything cut out. I'm leaving that brace in there, and I'm just gonna make an extension that comes down to here and spot weld that. I made this piece to kind of keep everything from twisting. I might leave it in, I might just lay stuff underneath of it and then cut it off. It won't hurt anything being there. I got all that cut out so I can make all that new. That's the inside of the panel that I made. So, and then I got the rust cut out so I can make that all new also. Where the beads end, I'll probably just hammer them down, pinch them, and weld them up because I'm not worried about making the floor factory looking. It's not that important for this car, as long as it's, you know, not rusty. Let's get some of this rust out of here. I brought my little anvil vise over here to try to make some of these pieces for that brace and stuff. So I'll put it on a time lapse and see how it comes out. All right, I got that inner brace made, and I got this outer corner made. There's the inner brace. I split it a bunch of times and just welded it together, spot welded it down here, and then I made this piece. It's gonna cover this corner that I left, and then I'll make a small piece for in here, and this big piece for here. So that's where I'm at right now. I've just been moving along on it since it's not super interesting anyway. The inner piece done, I'm gonna go ahead and tack that end and that end, and then I'm gonna reach in there and put these fellas back in there. See how it goes. There we go. Starting to look good. Starting to look like something. I should have punched holes in this, I forgot. Shoot. Oh well. Just have to do it the hard way. Shoot. That's alright. It'll be okay. It's a little frustrating, but it's not going to hurt anything. Just have to drill holes and weld it from underneath later. That'll hold that in place. Slide this guy on in here. At least I remember to punch holes for this.
So far, so good. Let's reach in there and get the other one zapped in. Wherever it went, there it is. There we go. Got those back in. Clean that up, make this little corner here, weld these in, probably cut that out, and make this top piece. We're getting there. Made up one of the little braces, corner braces. I gotta make the other one, and then grind all that stuff out and make it pretty, because it looks a little rough, but a couple more pieces to make. I'm gonna wrap it up here for sure. I got everything made up. It looks a little ugly. I am out of cutting discs again. I couldn't get the ones I liked, so I got some cheaper ones that they had, and they just burn out too quick. So I got to do some detail grinding and some wire brushing with a drill, but you know, it's not too bad. The ugly edge will get seam sealed like factory, because I mean, these cars had globs of seam sealer underneath of it. So a lot of it will get seam sealed, and then all this stuff I gotta still grind out, and I'll body work that seam so it doesn't look so bad. It'll look nice when it's all dressed up and done, but it's solid now. There's no more rust and all the little patches are made. So I'm all right with it.